He wasn't on the duty roster, didn't wear a name tag, didn't carry a badge, didn't walk like he belonged, but moved like the building obeyed him. No one saw him arrive. No one ever saw him leave. He didn't give orders, didn't correct form, didn't say a damn word. But when he passed by, even the instructors stepped aside. Who was he? Some said he was just a janitor. Others whispered things they weren't supposed to say out loud. But all it took was one recruit, one glance, and one mark behind his left ear, and everything changed. Before we begin, tell us in the comments, from which part of the world are you watching this story? And if you believe legends like this deserve to be remembered, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and help us keep alive the memory of those who served and never stopped serving. Asterisk, the first time Jennings saw him, it was 4:12 in the morning. He was early. Not unusual selection does that to people. But even then, Jennings wasn't the first to arrive. The lights were already on. The mop bucket was rolling slowly across the black rubber mats. A figure moved methodically, cleaning benches no one had yet touched. A man, maybe mid-50s, broad shoulders, straight back, black thermal jacket, olive pants, and boots so worn the color had turned to desert ash. He didn't look up, didn't acknowledge the recruit, just kept moving. Jennings didn't think much of it until he saw the man the next day. And the next, and every single day after, he was always already there. He never spoke, never drank from the base water tanks, never stretched, trained, or joked around. Just cleaned. Some called him custodial contractor. Others didn't call him anything at all. Until Jennings saw it. It was the third week. Brutal circuits, ice bath rotations, and endless sleep deprivation had drained most of the candidates into walking ghosts. Jennings stumbled into the cold room by mistake. He meant to hit the showers, but a wrong turn led him to the back corridor. The door to the cold room, normally shut tight, was ajar. Inside, the man sat barefoot, cross-legged on the freezing floor. Eyes closed, palms resting on his knees, sleeves rolled up. His skin was red from cold exposure, but he wasn't shaking. Didn't seem to notice the icy breath curling from his mouth. Jennings stared, and in that moment, the man opened his eyes, steel gray, silent. He looked at Jennings, not startled, not angry, just present. Then he nodded. A slow, intentional nod that felt like it meant something. Jennings closed the door. Didn't say a word, but he didn't forget. Asterisk, the man was no longer invisible. Over time, people started to notice strange things. He never used earbuds, never touched a phone, never sat down except in the cold room. He aligned weights with perfect symmetry, coiled battle ropes so tight they snapped back into place when dropped. He always walked the perimeter of the gym clockwise, always checked mirror angles before lights on, and always lit a single incense stick before sunrise. No one asked why, but injuries slowed, discipline sharpened, and a strange sense of order began to settle in. The instructors never questioned him, especially not Instructor Ward. Ward had trained over 1,000 candidates. Ex-SEAL, grim, granite-jawed, and allergic to nonsense. But he never once told the man to move faster, never asked what he was doing, never said a word. One recruit, Ramos, made a joke in the mess hall. I bet he washed out years ago. Probably lives in the cold room. The next morning, Ramos was dropped from selection. No reason given, no appeal allowed. That's when the name started circulating. Iceman. Asterisk. They started watching him. Quietly. He could lift 275 pounds without chalk. He could clean a deep blood stain in under a minute. He knew when someone was about to quit sometimes, before they knew it themselves. But it was Dawson, another recruit, who finally saw it. During a particularly brutal sparring rotation, Dawson, collapsed on the floor beside the rope rack, and there he was mopping the mat. The hood slipped Dot just barely, but it was enough Dot behind the man's left ear, half hidden by a faded collar and sun-worn skin, was a tattoo, a trident piercing a skull. One insignia, but not the public version. The one reserved for Black Ops unacknowledged missions, off-record operations, deep in the sand combat with no press releases, no medals. The kind of ink only a handful of ghosts earned. And even fewer survived. Dawson froze. The man looked at him, then adjusted his hood, and walked away. No words. But everything changed after that. Asterisk. The alarm went off during DEADLIFTS. Loud. Unexpected. Some thought it was a drill. It wasn't. A short circuit triggered smoke in the hallway. Recruits were ordered out. Fast. One didn't make it. Simmons, broad, strong, dependable, collapsed halfway to the exit. Knee injury. Dehydrated. Locked up. Two. Guys went back for him but froze at the smoke. Then came the sound of boots. Heavy. Calm. Iceman walked in with a towel wrapped around his mouth. Picked Simmons up. Clean fireman's carry. One arm under the knee, one across the shoulders. Smooth, balanced. He didn't grunt. Didn't cough. Didn't flinch. 30 seconds later, they were outside. Simmons coughed. Looked up. The man was already walking away. No report filed. No thank you requested. But the next morning, the entire weight rack had been restructured. Color-coded. Perfectly aligned. Balanced by weight, not just size. And from that point on, everyone started calling him sir. Even the instructors. Asterisk. It was Instructor Ward who finally broke the silence. One morning, he walked into the supply closet during break. Iceman was sitting on an overturned bucket, sipping black coffee from a dented thermos. Ward didn't sit, just stared for a moment, then said, I was in Kandahar. 2008. There was a story about a black site. 2 men went in. Only one came back. Sighed he carried the other under fire. Stitched his own leg shut with a field knife, then vanished before the debrief. He paused. Was that you? Iceman didn't answer. Just stared. Then he spoke, calm, low. You shouldn't ask questions you don't want answered. Ward nodded. That's what I thought. He turned to leave, then said one last thing. They think they're learning discipline in that gym. But you're teaching them something none of us can put on a whiteboard. Iceman looked down at his boots. They'll need it if they ever see what I've seen. And just like that, Ward was gone. Asterisk. Then one morning, he didn't show up. Lights came on. Mats were clean, but not his clean. No incense. No folded ropes. Instructor Ward found it first. The cold room door was cracked open. Inside, the thermal jacket folded. A SEAL Team 6 coin, aged, blackened. A patch with 5 letters. VNCO rank. No title, just a name. That afternoon, no training was held. The gym went silent, but no one asked where he went, because they knew he didn't leave. He simply returned to the shadows from where he came. Asterisk. Recruits still tell the story, not during drills. Not out loud, but during night watches. During runs past the cold room. During moments when they feel like quitting, and when a new candidate drops a plate too loud or complains about the cold. Someone always says the same thing. She, you, don't want to wake the Iceman. And if they ever ask, who was he? The answer is simple. He's the reason we're still learning what it means to serve, even after the mission ends. If this story stayed with you, if you believe some warriors never stop serving, subscribe to Human Lines, like the video, share it with someone who understands silent strength, and leave a comment below. Have you ever met someone like him? Someone the world overlooked until you saw something in their eyes that told you they'd been through hell and carried it like a secret? We'd love to hear your story.